A little beat up.
Deone, what's this rivalry game mean to you?
It means a lot, I never liked Louisville, even while I was getting recruited. But, I just don't like the Cardinals. Their fans are, kind of snobbish. Their players are acting entitled. It's just, a lot of pent-up aggression towards them.
With that said, what would it mean to you to kind of spoil their playoff hopes?
It would mean a lot, They have a great team, game recognizes game. They got great coaching staff over there, They really turned around their program, but it would just mean a lot, and it'll cap off our season.
I think either Liam or Brad described it as kind of chippy but mutual respect. Is that what we're hearing?
Yeah, I got a lot of friends while I was getting recruited that's over at Louisville now. I got a lot of respect for them, but I'm always want to win, no matter what.
How do you all balance those emotions? I mean, we've seen the emotions translate into penalties too often this year. How do you handle that?
Just being real. Like, if I do this, say you push me right after the play. If I push you, I'm gonna get the penalty. Then I'm really disappointing my brothers. So just having that in the back of our head, and just knowing like, no matter what, if you push me after the play and we still win, I'm gonna dance in his face after the game.
Yeah, you played so well Saturday. Was that your best game yet? What was working for you?
Yeah, I think so. Just me not being in my head, just going out there playing. Being hype with my teammates all around. No matter if they got a first down, it's 3rd and 1. No matter if they just got a big explosive play, just grounding ourselves, being together in that hostile environment.
What would a win this weekend do for you guys heading into that stretch where you prepare for bowl season?
It'll do a lot, It'll really change the morale, have the morale up, and just have everyone just itching and scratching, waiting for that bowl game.
I mean, like John said, you had a great game the other night. You've been so productive. I think sometimes we forget this is only your second year. Do you feel like you're still learning and that you're getting better at like diagnosing plays and technique and that sort of thing?
Yeah, just getting. Yeah, I feel like I'm always learning. Just trying to learn different formations about a team. What are their tendencies with their center, guards, tackles? Where are their tight ends? What formation are they in when they're more so passing rather than running? So I can just know before the play what I'm going to get.
Deone, as a young guy who's one of the best players, who's a captain now, what do you have to do as a leader heading into this offseason to build on this year that maybe didn't go the way you guys wanted?
Just making sure morale is up. We're losing a lot of great leaders like Eli Cox, Kenneth Horsey. Dev might be leaving, but just a bunch of guys that kept the morale up. So me and a bunch of guys in my grade, we're still a young team. We're going to have to keep our morale up even more. Just show them like, hey, last year's last year. Let's scratch that on to new. What our legacy for next year going to be.
It's also Thanksgiving week. Does your team have any fun Thanksgiving plans?
Yeah, we are going to our coaches' houses, just chilling with all of our groups tomorrow. But, Thursday, just walk through and then we get to chill, go with our families.
What's your favorite Thanksgiving food?
Mac and cheese. Mixed with the yams, though. Like, you got to, Yeah.
All right, very good.
I'll try it.
Thanks.
Feels like a little bit of a risk.
Good.
Devin, you obviously played Louisville before, but different circumstances now. What does a rivalry mean to a guy who just got here 6 months ago or whatever?
Yeah, definitely much more. I remember first getting here, meeting the fans, and little kids coming up to me, and the first thing they're asking is to take a picture to throw the L's down. And I first just got here, and you immediately could tell that it means a lot in the state. It means a lot to BBN and Kentucky supporters all across the country, all across the state, and this game just means a little bit more.
I mean, obviously the offense has been consistent. I think it's fair to say all year. As you look at this year as a whole, just how do you kind of evaluate how it's gone, both individually and as a group?
Yeah, I think you just said it, honestly, inconsistent. There's been ups and downs. It's disappointing to lose. It's disappointing to put in a lot of hard work, grind all off season, and build great relationships with coaches, players, and have a really positive mindset going into the season. And to fall short a couple games and have some disappointing losses, it's nothing that any of us players ever want. So for us, I just think inconsistent is a good way to describe it. But the good thing is we still have 2 games ahead of us for us to be consistent, to kind of end out on a good note. So it's been a tough season, up and down. There's been some really positives this season too that I think you could take away. But overall, we're just focused on Louisville and this bowl game to finish 2 final wins.
What does the Louisville defense look like on film, and have you played anybody similar style-wise?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're very athletic as far as their DBs and linebackers. You see them flying sideline to sideline. They're really well coached at their schematic of what they like to do. There's multiple different coverages in the back end that they show. There's multiple different fronts that they present. And, I don't really know if I could say we've played anyone similar to them. There's definitely different coverages that pop out on film that we have seen in the past. But when it comes to their players specifically, they do a really good job at what they're coached to do.
Deone was just out here talking about new leaders, and he said Dev might be leaving. Have you actually thought about trying to look into an injury waiver to come back for another year? Is that something that's even on your radar at this point?
I honestly haven't looked into any of that. Right now my focus is just week to week. I'm trying to be the best player that I can to go out and win on Saturday.
Liam was kind of saying that there's some opportunities the way Louisville plays, that if you guys kind of execute it right, there could be some plays down the field. You've had some trouble consistently getting that deep ball connection with Barry. How do you think you can maybe look for that in this game and kind of have more success?
Yeah, I think for one, I gotta give them a shot, and 2, we just have to make the connection, make the play. I mean, there's been multiple times in the season, like you said, there's been opportunities for a deep ball that we just didn't connect on. But when the coverage presents itself, kind of what Coach Cohen is hitting at, that there is some plays in our offense based on the coverage that they're giving us that the stage is going to be set to take those deep shots. And, me and Barryon, we work really hard, and it's not like we're trying to miss on purpose. There's just a little bit, whether it's 1 or 2 yards, that I'm throwing it a little bit too deep, or, the angle is a little bit off. But, we're eager and we're determined to hit this deep ball this week.
It seems like it's just fractions sometimes.
Yeah, it's a game of inches. That's all that football is.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to ask the same question I asked last guy. Dumb question, but it's Thanksgiving week. What's your favorite Thanksgiving tradition, Thanksgiving food?
Well, my favorite Thanksgiving tradition is probably every year. I won't be able to do it this year because all my family's up in New Jersey, but every year I would go over to my aunt's house in the morning. She would cook all different types of breakfasts for all my cousins, and just get my family together, honestly, is my favorite part of Thanksgiving.
Do you have a favorite food?
Favorite food? Honestly, probably just mac and cheese.
That's what you said.
Yeah.
That's an interesting take with all the choices.
Yeah, I'm pretty simple. I'll go with mac and cheese.
Okay.
Even though you haven't played in this rivalry, you've played in rivalry games before.
Yes, sir.
NC State, North Carolina, or whoever. How do you control your emotions in that type of game and not let them? Obviously, you want to be emotional and play with passion, but not let them get away from you.
Yeah, I think exactly what you just said. You just can't let it get away from you. You know that games like this are going to be really intense. Both fan bases are going to be going at it. Us as players, we feel that going into the game. We know the environment's going to be electric. We know it's going to be hostile. But you got to control what you can. Play within the lines. There's going to be a lot of extra stuff going on, whether it's pregame or people talking. But the only thing that matters is how you play between the whistles. So being able to keep that focus, especially relaying it to the team in a locker room before the game, is going to help us succeed.
Who was this game for you at NC State?
UNC. Yes, sir.
They say a lot of times that you learn more about yourself when you go through adversity than
Yeah.
you do. And you've been through adversity before with injuries and so forth. But in a season like this where you're still trying to get that consistency, but what have you learned about yourself?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I feel like my whole college career, I've constantly been battling adversity, whether it's injury or coaching change or transferring. I think the biggest thing is just, first questioning yourself of how much do you truly love this game? How much work are you going to truly put into this game even when it's not really loving you back? And when things aren't going the way that you are, what type of player and what type of person are you that you're going to respond the right way? Are you going to be the same person every single day in the locker room that your teammates know they can rely on you through good or through bad? And, I've kind of been a testimony to that throughout my whole career of being able to bounce back from season-ending injuries, being able to bounce back from coaching changes, going from third on the depth chart to starting. And, that's football. That's the process. You want everything to go as perfect as you possibly can. But, like we say here, like Coach Stoops says all the time, when you get punched in the mouth, how are you going to stand back up and respond? So I think this year, it's been ups and downs, like I said. There's been, some disappointment losses. But, I love this team. I'm still glad to be a part of this team and a leader. And, it's up to us to finish strong these last 2 games.
Devin, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but because of your injuries, you didn't actually play in a bowl game at NC State. Is that right?
Yeah, I've actually never played in a bowl game.
So have you thought about that and, the chance to finally do that in the next month or so?
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited. I actually had an opportunity in 21 to play in a bowl game, but it got canceled.
Right.
That was like my only chance when I was healthy. So this one, I'm going to live it up. I can't wait for the experience, and being able to go out and actually play in a bowl game is kind of really like a dream come true.
All right, thank y'all very much.
Thank you.